After sambering in Sao Paulo, it's time for mayhem in Mexico. The ABB FIA Formula E World Championship kicks in for the 10th time here in Mexico. Welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for round 2 of season 11. Mitch Evans is our championship leader, 25 points. Antonio Feliz da Costa on 18. Taylor Barnard has 15. Sam Bird on 12. Eduardo Mortara has 10. It's 9 for NATO, 6 for De Vries, Buemi on 4, Verline 3, Ticktum on 2. In the team's championship, Neil McLaren have 27 points. They're 2 clear to Jaguar TCS Racing, who are 3 clear to Tag Heuer Porsche. Mahindra have 16, 9 for Nissan, 4 for Envision. It's 2 for Cooper Cairo, and then DS Penske only have 1. No points for Maserati, Lola, or Andretti. And in the Manufacturers' Championship, Jaguar leading that brilliantly to Nissan in second, 31 to 27. Porsche have 22 with Mahindra on 18. Stellantis has 3, Lola still on 0.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mexico City for free practice 2 here for the Mexico City E-Prix here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, as we are 34 minutes remaining in this session, 6 minutes gone and we are ready to go. Joining me is Megan Birch. Hello, Megan.
Hi. We had a bit of technical trouble, which seems to be the key factor whenever I'm in the box alone. Like in the actual physical com box, and it's left to try and do the laptop thing.
Yeah, it is a little bit annoying, but we got there in the end, only around 6 minutes lost. And just a quick recap on that 6 minutes is that no incidents other than a couple of drivers going straight on at turn 1, which always happens in the early stages of the free practice sessions. They're looking at the Jaguar in its pit garage. Currently Vern top with Gunther second.
I like the helmet design.
It is a nice helmet design. Mitch Evans just in there. Let's have a look at the Envision of Robin Freins coming out of the final corner and sliding out of the final corner. Still a little bit wet, damp on the track, and just got on the painted line, and that slid him drifting around the final corner, Megan.
Well held, I gotta say. There's a lot of damp patches around this, and I'm surprised. Look, there's one. I'm surprised he was able to hold that so well.
Yeah, here's Mortara going through the stadium section. Of course, the Formula E layout completely different to the F1 layout, and well, one of the main differences is here at the stadium section, where you go all the way around the stadium section. You don't cut underneath the grandstands, and it's an extended last corner. Mortara just twitching it round that long corner out onto the front stretch, just sliding around. It's a little bit like what the UK roads were a couple of mornings ago when we got quite a bit of snow and ice. Not the best combination in towards turn 1 for Mortara.
It was very icy here.
Yes.
Seeing the garage thing. Frederick Bertrand. They all look very concentrated. Just like, I've got to see this.
Yep, and let's have a look at the replay.
Mortara.
In towards turn 1 and just goes onto the grass at turn 1.
Came a lawnmower.
And not into the barrier, not down the escape road, just onto the grass, just a little bit wide, rejoins the track safely.
We all seem to
31 minutes gone.
Currently only 2 of them are in the pits of people who are out.
Yeah, he clipped the wall at the end of yesterday and have quite a lot of damage on the car, but we're fixing
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
Muller going, I think.
the balance was a bit difficult for him, and obviously this thing
Everyone seems to be going round that corner that Muller's just gone round and almost
Yeah.
sliding.
today we put
Yeah, very slidey round here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez here in Mexico City, of course.
It's quite tight turns
NASCAR
as well.
announced that they are coming here later this year in June, which will be interesting to see. But
Oh
back
my
to
God.
Formula E, Muller, Dennis, both on a lap time. It'll be Muller coming across the line first.
It's going to be carnage.
Dennis around 5 seconds behind. It's Muller up towards the line, out of the final corner. What lap time will it be? It'll be a 1:40. Here we, yes, didn't actually show us the time.
140.313.
Awesome, thank you. As I still try to get the live timings up.
Oh, DaCosta.
Okay, I want to try one lap of aggressive warm-up, like burnouts and stuff, because this is pointless.
Yeah, copy. We're discussing pressures. Try to warm up your tires in the meantime.
Speaking of the burnout, I've just seen it on DaCosta's car. That is getting bad, especially with how quickly they all have to go around the corners. It's a lot of tight corners around Mexico City's circuits. Apart from this one,
Yeah,
it's
definitely. As we continue in this practice session, 7:41 local, so it's an early start as always in the chaotic day of Formula E. And if you crash in Formula E with that, well, it could not be the best for future sessions going on. Of course, today we've got practice 2 now, then we go into qualifying a little bit later on today, then the main race, I believe broadcast starts around 7:30 for that race. 8 o'clock is when the formation lap starts, with all of their race build-ups with Formula E, with all of their grid lineups, tyre warm-ups and all of that stuff.
Well, they've gone to advert, so I'm stuck without my pictures.
Yep, I've got some sort of pictures thanks to the race centre.
I shall go through the lineup currently. Standings. The word's gone out of my brain.
Classification.
That's it. Right. So, Comfort is currently first, Hughes is second, Fern is third, fourth is Verline, Van Dorn is fifth, De Vries is in sixth, Van Dorn and Verline just swapped around, Van Dorn into fourth, Mortara is seventh, Frines is eighth, Tictum is ninth, oh, and it's just completely changed again. So, Hughes went into second, I think, which made it change, and had put Mortara down into 8th, Frines now 9th, Tictum 10th, Nato 11th, Buemi 12th, Muller is in at 13th, 14th is Cassidy, Dennis is 15th, Beckman is 16th, Roland is 17th, Bird 18th, Maloney is in 19th, Evans 20th, Barnard is in 21st, and 22nd is Degrassi. Couple new names I've seen.
Yeah, a couple of drivers coming up from series like Formula 2. Zane Maloney being one of them. A couple of drivers departing from last season, not with us in this year. And we've got returning names and then new names coming in. Virtual Race Engineer giving us some information that there is sun glare from the rising sun here in Mexico,
Ooh.
blinding drivers in towards turn 1.
Oh, that's not
And
good.
that is not the best place to have the sun blinding you as you go down in towards turn 1. The longest straight, the fastest you get here on the Mexico City track here in Formula E, and the hardest braking zone. Look at it in towards turn 1.
Such a quick movement that you got to do.
Yeah, the camera loses it there.
You know, why couldn't the sun been glaring at like turn 19 or something? Because that is just, it's a pleasant one. You can just know where you're going, and it happens for like a while.
Yeah, as continuing to circulate, that is one of the, well, it's Hughes going round the circuit now. Continuing to go down at the hairpin now, going up towards, well, that was the turn 5, turn 6 complex for Formula 1. It is still the turn 5, turn 6
Pitches
complex.
back. Oh,
Down here
slides.
in Formula E, down into the tight chicane now as we rejoin TV pictures on Megan's side as we teleport to the stadium section, as there's no delay with these TV pictures. Hughes down towards the final corner. Megan, what's his lap time?
his lap time is a 1:32.735 up into third, and he's only 0.003 of a second behind Gunther.
And his last lap that he has just completed now across the line. That was 0.25 seconds slower. And you can see that sun blinding. Let's have a replay with Hughes. Did he make a mistake in the 55? Just going a little bit wide. That's down at the chicane, and that did not help him at all. Did he spin it? No, he did not. Very well saved. And let's hear from him.
So now you have Q1 acknowledge and push to box.
Boxing then?
Yeah, correction, that was not down at the chicane, that was at the attack zone, attack mode zone, down at the stadium section. And Ed has just joined us, so we'll let Ed get his camera on and get ready, and then I will switch out, and Ed will come in.
Looks like
Thanks, Josh.
No.
Nick Cassidy's been having some work done on his car. Had to take one of the protective covers off.
Yep, looking down at the Andretti garage, now down in the Cooper garage and now back on.
Are we just calling them Cooper already and not calling them Kiro like they're originally called? I mean,
Yeah.
Cooper is just a brand name. It's a little bit like calling, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a sponsor now, and I can't. It's like calling McLaren Neom or something like that. Just call them Neom. Nobody would do that, and you shouldn't, because Neom is a immoral and evil company. But anyway, enough of that.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, well, that shows you how great their marketing firm is doing, isn't it? But anyway, I guess something like Envision, the sponsor, is the name of the team. So that is a bad example, admittedly. But yeah, anyway, it's interesting because it's been so wet. No one's really been able to put in any decent lap times. It's all just been about trying to prepare the track so it's in a slightly better condition come quali, and everyone's trying to see how the tyres behave in the wet, and the answer is not very well.
Yeah, they're sliding about all over the place. I mean, I don't think I've seen anyone actually go a decent speed. So they're not pushing over like 135.
Yeah, I think the last thing they want is to deck it in the wall like we saw a Beckman do right at the end of the FP1. And Buemi had a big moment as well as he goes. He actually goes fourth fastest, so scratch what I said about them. The track does seem to actually be improving now as the sun's starting to come out for the final 20 minutes. So I guess we are going to see a few better times.
Hopefully.
Anyway, sorry about that, because I did say I plugged the camera in and I forgot to actually turn it on. So until Josh prompted me to do so. Oh, and speaking of David Beckman, he just had a massive moment at turn 1. There you go. You want to save that. Oh. And he had Van Dorn right behind him as well, so that can't be ideal.
Ooh, so close to grass as well.
I think he did the grass.
Yeah. I always feel so bad for the gardeners because they must despise the cars. It's like all that
The FE
effort.
cars particularly, because they're the only ones that use that particular route on the circuit.
A lot of the drivers right now are in the pit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them currently in the pit.
I thought you'd gone really muffled there, but that was just you mumbling. Okay.
Yeah, that was just me counting up slowly.
Anyway. Hey, Barnard just starting a lap at the moment. Doesn't look particularly aggressive into turn 1.
Yeah, taking... A corner I wouldn't have taken like that. I suppose we're avoiding a wet patch.
Yeah, I suppose you might want to do a few laps to bed in and then do a push lap. Looks like Gunther has just set fastest lap 1:31.3, and that shows you that the track is still quite slow. And there's a big field spread as well. Looks like the Jaguars are basically not bothering with this session because they've set... Cassidy set a lap 8 seconds off the pace. Evans has set a lap 13 seconds off the pace.
They're just like, we're trying. This one, we don't have to really push as much. We don't want to damage our car.
I think it's also if there's not a lot to learn when the track's in really bad conditions, and if it's projected to get better out of qualifying, then there isn't a whole lot of point going out.
Yeah. It's like, let everyone else just slowly go round and try and warm it up and let the sun do its job. Just wait for Colin.
I suppose the other way of looking at it is as you've got cars going around the track, it is at least clearing some of that standing water.
It's extremely slow around that corner.
Yeah, probably just giving himself a bit of a gap, Verline.
Yeah.
And Verline, of course, has won here twice. Of course, once at the very end of Gen 2 era, and then started Gen 3. Last season he won here as well, and he was second in Season 9 as well. So his last 3 seasons, he's been very, very successful here as Pascal Verline. This is a race, of course, he infamously very nearly won in Season 5 in his rookie season in Formula E. Is that Jake Dennis just skipping the first corner and then rejoining right behind Verline?
It seems like it, yeah. The sun really is shining really brightly there.
You know, it's a bit confusing to me because Jake Dennis has gone for a sort of orangey helmet with sort of Mexican symbols on it. And it looks a little bit similar to the sort of fluorescent bright yellow-green helmet that Nico Muller uses.
Just like you can't tell which one's which.
Well, especially with the sun glaring down at this sort of this sort of time of the day, yeah.
That's their plan, just to mistake each other on the track to confuse everyone.
Given by the evidence of Sao Paulo, I guess maybe they need some good luck. So maybe having 2 similar helmets will help. Although Muller ended up being taken out pretty much on the first lap in Sao Paulo, and Dennis had his red car. Well, we know it's a red car, but in terms of the electrical output, meant that it was unsafe to touch, essentially without the electrical blankets and whatever. Yeah, so it's a bit of a freak incident there. As we see Roland go 4 fastest on the full power as well.
Ooh. Do you know, it took me so long just then to find Muller on the timing screen. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think they tried to differentiate it from the Nissans and the Mahindras by making it white in the background instead of red.
Yeah, it just makes it a whole lot more complicated. Your gaze just kind of just slips past him.
I suppose the easiest ones to tell from a distance are Maserati and Envision because they're the only blue and green ones. Oh, and DS Penske as well. Porsche, I guess Porsche and Jaguar are both black. McLaren's fairly easy to tell apart because it's the Neon logo and then the McLaren logo in orange.
Yeah.
Oh, and Roland goes almost straight on there and has to rejoin over the curb right in front of one of the Jaguars.
Instead of putting in the curb, just galloping over them. Failing at a gallop. All of the ungraceful fall.
Yeah, it looked at and Roland just really struggling to keep it on track there as well. It feels like the tyres just starting to wash out every corner here.
They are, I think. Saw something come off that car as well. It's only small, but might have been a bit of a wheel.
Could have been a bit of debris or dust and stuff. What? Bit of wheel? That sounds quite confusing. He needs all 4 of those.
No, like, do you know one of those, like... Do you know when it's degrading a lot?
Oh, the tyre. Right,
Yeah.
the tyre. It's a bit of rubber falling off. Yeah, okay. That would sort of make sense.
I couldn't remember the word tyre, so I just said wheel. All I could think of was a steering wheel. I don't know why. I've had my coffee today as well. I should be really on it.
Yeah. Is this what it's like when I'm at London and you're doing the commentary?
Yes. I'm just like, where's the words gone?
To be fair, I always struggle getting up for the weekends. So.
Yeah, it's because, like, it's a weekend. That's when we should be sleeping. But no, this is our work days.
It depends, yeah. Yeah, I am actually getting paid for commentary I'm doing today. There's a 12-hour race I'm commentating on after this, so I've been keeping up with how that's been going. And it's an endurance race, 12 hours of Daytona. Ooh. And the GD3 field went about 3 or 4 wide into turn 1, and about 4 cars all ended up being smashed to pieces.
Oh my god, I probably would have loved that.
No, because there was the GD3 class leader, I think, that was coming through, saw like 3 cars laying sideways in front of him, and decided to go full throttle through there, and the results were quite predictable. He just went flying over one of them because he couldn't avoid him in time.
His intrusive force got way too happy with that 3-car situation.
Yeah. It's sort of the Verline incident, but in sim racing, essentially. Except that in that one, there was at least excuse that Cassidy had the broken steering, didn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're on board with Cassidy, coincidentally enough.
Yeah, look at the visor Cassidy's got on here. It's very clear because of the low sun, I think.
It's weird seeing the eyes of them.
It might be his wet visor. That might be what's going on there.
Possibly.
The Jaguars do seem to be coasting around, so... and Evans, I think, has got the same visor as well, because you can clearly see his face in his eyes, even from quite a distance.
Do you know what I've always wanted? For someone to be wearing a clear visor whilst they're about to hit a wet patch, and then you can just see the face, just that moment where you knew where they messed up. That'd be so funny.
I don't know. I don't think they would find it particularly funny. I think it'd be more embarrassing. Yeah. The thing about being a racing driver and wearing the suit and the helmet is they sort of protect you. They can't see what you really look like. And most people don't care as long as the car looks nice.
I don't think that a golfer's actually come out of the pit lane in 20 minutes.
You don't think who's come out of the pit lane in 20 minutes?
I don't think golfers actually come out of the pit lane at all in the past 20 minutes.
He did set the fastest lap about 10 or 12 minutes ago. As TNT gave an ad break.
Yeah, the thing is, I think he was just going up one of them. I think he was just so confident in his time right now. He's just like, oh, do you know what? No one's beating me. I'm just gonna stay.
Well, while we're away, looks like Dennis has gone fastest, 1:30.76.
Ah, someone has beaten him.
Yeah, so those that are in the pits might decide to come out for the last 10 minutes. They might have just been waiting for the optimal track conditions that they're going to get in this session at least.
Have you seen how much he's gone fastest by? 0.6.
Yeah, well, that's sort of what you expect when the track is as wet as it is, Megan.
Yes. And it must be drying up quicker now. That sun's definitely doing its job.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because I was listening earlier and the Porsches, I think DaCosta was talking about how we're not going to learn anything just running around. We need to make setup changes and wait for the track to improve. And it looks like Verline and DaCosta have come back out now. So
it's okay, it's improved. It's we'll actually...
But I think also they were sort of noticing that the car was not really set up particularly well for those conditions. And also there's a sense of like I said earlier, nobody really wants to deck the car on the wall out the Peraltada in FP2, which is so easy to do. We saw it even happen in the dry in FP1, even though it was obviously quite green track conditions because it doesn't get used for FE. FE's like the first series to use it in the year.
Yeah, and I suppose I don't want anything bad to happen so close to quali.
Yeah, it looks like Verline has nipped in front of Gunther, but he's still about 5.5 tenths behind Dennis.
Gunther had so much security for so long, and now he's lost it to 2 people.
Well, I don't think he'll really care because it's only practice, so it could be that DS Penske have got all the info they need, but still 10 minutes to go.
I'd be out for vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, you take free practice a lot more personally than any of the drivers do. I think, as far as they're concerned, it's just warm up so I can get ready for qualifying. Essentially, if you're quick in practice, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be quick come quali. We see Maloney is actually still in the top 10 for Lola, which is impressive considering he didn't qualify particularly well in Sao Paulo. Sort of got caught out with the red flag for Mitch Evans in that particular group when Mitch Evans to a halt with the issue that they had. So Jaguar will be hoping to be more reliable because this is also the scene of infamously season 9 in Mexico when we had Mark Preston commentating. This is where Sam Bird's car, he had an awful weekend and the car sort of shut down while he was in the points. And Mark Preston said, "Oh, that's unforgivable in a way from Jaguar because that sort of thing should have been caught on the rig. You should never have a car completely die on you at this phase in Formula E from a manufacturer team."
The car just wanted to add to the bad weekend.
It's true, and I think Sam Bird left for McLaren, and that seems to have worked out for him a lot better because he's sort of the de facto team leader there, which seems to suit him just nicely. Although McLaren not doing particularly strongly in this session, neither are Jaguar, of course. So
I don't
it
think
seems
either of them have really
they're the
tried
two
that
teams
hard.
that have sort of just decided it's too wet to get anything out of this session whatsoever at the moment.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, do you know what? This session, we don't actually care. We'll just wait for quali.
I mean, the problem is if you do that, sometimes you can get caught on the back foot if it rains again for quali, for instance.
Yeah, then they would have messed up a lot. I'm actually going to check the weather right now just to see whether it will rain. Hold on. Mexico City. Weather. Okay. The possibility of rain's not going to happen for another, 3 hours. Hold on, let me check.
It's a good thing only two people are watching now because this is not exactly box office at the moment on the Formula E Zone channel anyway.
And we're back on the thing.
You mean TNT, yeah.
Okay.
If you just describe things as things, it doesn't exactly narrow it down. It's not helpful for our audience that can't see Megan.
It's a thing round my... Yeah, see, I did it again. Oh, Wemmy.
Coming away from the circuit a little bit.
No problem, that was a good improvement to then let Beckman go.
Yeah, no, was so we do one more lap or we have to come in?
No, we don't have to come in. We're going to do basically the whole session on this tyre set and then just scrub the others at the end.
Well, in fairness, he's only got 7 minutes left.
Well, that's interesting because, of course, they've got the 2 sets of tyres for the weekend. So they're saying, let's stay on this set and if we want to scrub our tyres either that they're using in qualifying or potentially for the race, then we're going to do it right at the end when we do our practice starts. So they'll do a very quick pit stop near the end of the session in the next few minutes and then change over better. But yeah, of course, always we see a big drift from Dennis and he has to get right out of that lap, out the Peraltada.
I'm going to guess I'll do it for a race. And round where Josh and I are from, I've noticed we do use the word thing to describe things a lot. Ooh. U-turn.
Oh, that just comes across as people with bad vocabulary or people that are too lazy. This is radio, not television.
It's
you
just
do realise that?
like a habit. I mean, oh, that's a lot of smoke there. My sister's...
Oh, Van Dorn goes 4 fast.
My sister's partner actually brought it up, I think, at Christmas. It's like, why do you all say, thing to describe things? And just say, I don't know.
It's not very descriptive. It's like the least descriptive adjective. It's not an adjective, it's a noun.
Do you want to know the most hilarious thing? I got A's in English.
I bet you didn't just say thing every other. Well, you didn't write down thing because it was written down. You couldn't just write thing. You couldn't get away with that.
Yeah, and I am actually surprisingly eloquent with my words.
Well, when
Just
you
not
need to
when
be.
describing things. Yeah, when I need to be. I'm very descriptive.
Yeah, clearly you're not being paid to do this. So. There's no incentive for you to put effort in.
The funny thing is,
Verline's gone
actually am
fastest,
good
by the way,
writer.
129.9. So first man, the 129s in this session with 5.5 minutes on the clock. As Vern is actually setting purple sectors here.
Ooh. Well, that's good. I reckon he's about to go top. Yep. Top with a 128.0.
So nearly 2 seconds quicker than Verline. So that's really showing the track evolution.
It's definitely getting better.
And he was also on full power as well. Oh, it's big drift from DaCosta coming out of turn 3. Is that him deliberately trying to warm up the rears, you reckon?
Possibly. It would make sense since he's only doing it with like the rears and not like downhill. See, words have escaped me. But also, I've just checked.
They were complaining about a tyre warm-up, that the tyres were too cold in these conditions and that they weren't providing as much grip as we see Buemi fishtailing it down the straight, actually, into turn 6 there, into the Ferrosol.
I've just checked the weather, and at 3 hours' time, maybe 2.5, it'll start to rain.
Oh, that'd be right at the time that quali starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Their time, it is 10 till, 11 till 12. Okay, accidentally moving the cursor thing.
It's like 5 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, 3, isn't it?
11 to 12 Mexico is 4 to 5.
4 to 5, yeah, there we go. Buemi goes second fastest, 6/10 behind Jev. Looked like a bit of a... it's difficult to just keep it pointed the right direction in these sorts of conditions, even though it's drier than it was. So that's really a testament to all of their driving ability. When you see it really tested in these conditions, when they've got, even with four-wheel drive, you see big four-wheel drifts from Buemi that he has to save coming out that long Peraltada. And it's a very surprisingly smooth track surface compared to what Formula E's probably used to as well. They're at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, so... Yeah, the rain, it's sort of billiard smooth in places, although the Ferrosol has a few bumps here and there, but it's mostly pretty well maintained, as De Vries goes second fastest.
Just going to check the timings for the quali. I have a feeling, but it's going to, the rain's going to interfere.
Broadcast 15:30, session 15:40 is what I've got.
It's like Josh has started streaming at Autosport International. He's bumped into Tom Cairns, interestingly.
Oh.
That's because they're there together, Ed.
Okay. Oh, they went there deliberately, okay.
Yeah.
I shall put that on my
it's
phone.
not, still nice to see him.
Oh, it's so far away from me.
Oh, you get over it.
I never like him going so far away from me. I'm always just very sad about it. Do you know how built in my
You sound like a
mind is?
Dire Straits song.
Okay, so he went really early on in the morning. Do you know what's the most hilarious thing? I woke up 5 minutes before he left. And this was 4:45 in the morning, and I am not a person that gets up at that time. So it's like I sensed he was leaving, and I was just like, morning. Ooh, a Ferrari.
Right, well, 2 minutes left to go then, as Di Grassi gets his Lola towards the start line. Goes 11th fastest, there you go, and you can see everyone has got the clear visor on. I think everyone's been slightly caught out by the sun coming out here, and they sort of put their visor on for the white visor on for early in the session. I sound like Felipe Massa now, but and now they've sort of, with the sun coming down, they're getting it in their eyes a little bit, so it's probably visibility is going to be
tough,
a little tricky down the back straight, but other than that, should be okay. As Cassidy's now setting the fastest first sector in that Jag. So Jag's deciding with a minute to go to unleash their pace here.
Finally, they've only been waiting for about 38 minutes. Now 39. It's like they try to do the least amount of work possible.
So the people who turn up late for the exam and then ace it, right?
Yeah.
And don't do any revision. But yeah, Dennis is on full power, Roland's on full power, and I believe Cassidy potentially is as well, although he's not lit up. Gunther on full power. And Cassidy is fastest in the middle, but somebody else has gone fastest in the first. So yeah, track improving all the time. Cassidy fastest, 120, or was that a 125 on the timing board?
Yeah, it is.
So.
Whew. Just got it in there as well. With the 125. It's very close to the 125.
259, yeah. Alright, Verline is fastest in the first sector, but he's not in the middle, despite being on full power. That's interesting. I wonder if some of these, in some places, it might be that the four-wheel drive isn't that effective in terms of grip in these wet conditions. As we see Verline getting very badly held up by the Cupra Kiro. Gets out of the way. I believe that's Tickton. Yep, it is.
Almost.
Verline goes only second fastest, the 2/10 off.
You can see the concentration in Gunther's eyes.
So good at that. He plays a lot of chess in his spare time, makes me think Gunther.
Plays chess?
There's a video of him online playing chess and being beaten by like chess champions, but sort of just doing it for.
At least he's trying.
Like he lasted a surprisingly long time, though. It wasn't like a walkover, like when I play chess. I used to be in chess club at my school, and I got my backside handed to me on a regular basis. As there goes Dennis, third fastest with the fastest final sector.
I've always wanted to like properly learn how to do chess because, funny enough, I do actually have a chessboard. But me and Joshua, we tried to play it, but then we realised we got the queen and the king mixed up, of which one's meant to go off. So technically, we were playing it wrong.
Right, Hughes fastest in the middle sector for Maserati. Let's see what he can do here as he crosses the line. Fastest for Maserati. There we go. And that's exactly what Jake Hughes would have wanted to see. As the checkered flag is out. And so we still got Verline, Roland, Frines, Degrassi to go. As we see a couple of late improvements from the McLarens. McLaren's still 3 seconds off the pace. So it looks like really only a couple of teams have gone for the full power in these conditions, whereas the others have just... Oh, big drift from Robin Frines as he gets up to 7th at the final corner there. But Frines, I think, is one of the drivers that's got amazing car control. And you particularly see it in wet conditions. He, of course, got that pole a couple of seasons ago for Apt at Berlin as well. When it rained in qualifying and they got a 1-2 out of nowhere during a really tough season for them. But yeah, Robin Frines has just got amazing feel and car control to the point that he's usually the most exciting driver to watch in in just races and qualifying because he always likes to just a car that oversteers and drifts the rear out just to get it through the corner somehow. And sometimes, very, very, very sometimes it goes wrong, but usually it's always fun to watch.
We're all going very slowly now, thankfully.
Oh yeah, because they're going to the start line to do the burnouts on the start line. And sort of their practice starts, essentially.
Just looking at Joshua's streams, there's a really nice blue car there. It's a number 7.
Oh, I'm going to see what you... Okay, that doesn't narrow it down.
Sterling Moss's car.
Yeah.
All right. Is that the... Cooper? Looks like one of the Coopers. Oh, there's somebody there in a Maserati Formula E. What's the name? Parker? Is it a Parker or the sort of little jacket with a sleeveless jacket sort of thing?
Anyway, if you are watching on JB Motorsports, the redirect is set up. So if you are watching on JBM, you will be automatically redirected to the Autosport stream on YouTube Formula E Zone. You'll be able to find it on the JBM channel, JB Twitch, JBM on YouTube.
And if you're watching on Formula E Zone, I guess we'll see you for qualifying in a few hours' time then.
Oh, well, quickly, I'll just go through the results from this thing. First was Hughes, Cassidy 2nd, Verline 3rd, Dennis 4th, Da Costa is 5th, De Vries is 6th, 7th is Frines, Van Dorn 8th, 9th is Gunther, Roland is 10th, Evans is 11th, 12th is Muller, Verne 13th, 14th Degrassi, Buemi 15th, 16th Ticktum, Barnard is 17th,
Bird is 18th. 19 is Maloney. NATO is in 20th. Mortara is in 21st. And 22nd is Beckman. I always feel like an auctioneer when I read out the timings.
Well, somebody's got to do it. But yeah, good for Jake Hughes after not lasting particularly long in and not qualifying all that well in Sao Paulo to a top FP2 there. So that will boost his confidence going into qualifying because Maserati desperately, you sort of sense that Van Dorn and Hughes would have liked to have a much stronger start to the season than they've had so far. They're both very, very good drivers. Stoffel Van Dorn only just sort of scraping a couple of points out of Sao Paulo. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they get on, but I think all the attention is going to be on the Porsches, the Jaguars, maybe Oliver Rowland as well, to see how they get on in qualifying, because they're going to be almost certainly the front runners. Maybe Andretti can recover as well, with Jake Dennis having another strong session there as well.
It was quite a strong session from a lot of them, which is surprising given the conditions that they had.
Well, yeah, the problem is as well, if you're running at the end and you had full power, you're basically guaranteed to get near the front of the timing, which is exactly what Jake Hughes did, admittedly. So, 110 years of Maserati. That's a new logo that I'm going to have to somehow get on the logo cars. Great.
Ooh.
But right, I'm sort of running out of things to talk about, Megan. Do you want to sign off? We'll meet back for quali.
Right, well, quali starts in a... Hold on, I'll just check what time it is currently. In about an hour, I think we're on. So an hour and
starts at 3:30, an hour and 15.
Yeah, so an hour and 15. In the meanwhile, go over to Joshua Birch's live stream, which will be obviously redirected, as Ed said. And thank you for watching. Right, thank you for watching. Goodbye.